the government denies the natural right of human beings to live on this planet. This it does by denying their natural right to those things that are indispensable to the maintenance of life. It says that, for everything necessary to the maintenance of life, they must have a special permit from the government, and that the government cannot be required to grant them any other means of living than it chooses to grant them. The government denies the natural right of individuals to take possession of wilderness land and hold and cultivate it for their own subsistence. It asserts that wilderness land is the property of the government, and that individuals have no right to take possession of or cultivate it unless by special grant of the government. And if an individual attempts to exercise this natural right, the government punishes him as a trespasser and a criminal. The government has no more right to claim the ownership of wilderness lands than it has to claim the ownership of the sunshine, the water, or the atmosphere. And it has no more right to punish a man for taking possession of wilderness land and cultivating it without the consent of the government than it has to punish him for breathing the air, drinking the water, or enjoying the sunshine without a special grant from the government. In thus asserting the government's right of property in wilderness land, and in denying men's right to take possession of and cultivate it, except on first obtaining a grant from the government, which grant the government may withhold if it pleases, the government plainly denies the natural right of men to live on this planet. By denying their natural right to the means that are indispensable to their procuring the food that is necessary for supporting life. In asserting its right of arbitrary dominion over that natural wealth that is indispensable to the support of human life, it asserts its right to withhold that wealth from those whose lives are dependent upon it. In this way it denies the natural right of human beings to live on the planet. It asserts that government owns the planet, and that men have no right to live on it, except by first getting a permit from the government. This denial of men's natural right to take possession of and cultivate wilderness land is not altered at all by the fact that the government consents to sell as much land as it thinks it expedient or profitable to sell, nor by the fact that, in certain cases, it gives outright certain lands to certain persons. Notwithstanding these sales and gifts, the fact remains that the government claims the original ownership of the lands, and thus denies the natural right of individuals to take possession of and cultivate them. In denying this natural right of individuals, it denies their natural right to live on the earth, and asserts that they have no other right to life than the government, by its own mere will, pleasure, and discretion, may see fit to grant them. In thus denying man's natural right to life, it of course denies every other natural right of human beings, and asserts that they have no natural right to anything, but that, for all other things as well as for life itself, they must depend wholly upon the good pleasure and discretion of the government.